What's up and welcome to the video. My name is Dr. Daniel Ricciardi, gut health expert, licensed pharmacist, fitness enthusiast, and creator of SIBO Shortcut, the comprehensive program that helps you get rid of SIBO, small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, and keep it from coming back. Today, we're going to dive into a topic that's been getting a lot of buzz lately, and this is leaky gut syndrome. It's a condition that many people may have heard of, but may not fully understand. In part one of this video, we're going to discuss what is leaky gut, signs and symptoms of leaky gut, causes of leaky gut, and then how to diagnose leaky gut. And then in part two of this video, we're going to talk about 5 specific supplements that have research showing that they may be able to help treat leaky gut. Let's get started with part one. So what is leaky gut? Leaky gut syndrome, also known as increased intestinal permeability or intestinal hyperpermeability, is a condition where the lining of the small intestines allows more substances to pass through than it should. In a healthy gut, this lining acts as a barrier and controls what enters the bloodstream. For the most part, this includes water, electrolytes such as sodium and potassium, and foods broken down into their smallest, simplest forms, such as amino acids and glucose. However, when this barrier becomes compromised, undigested food particles, toxins, and bacteria can all enter your bloodstream. This can trigger your immune system to respond, and once this happens, a variety of health issues may follow. Signs and symptoms of leaky gut. Honestly, this can include pretty much everything because leaky gut usually leads to chronic inflammation. You can have both digestive and non-digestive symptoms, including bloating, gas, diarrhea, constipation, joint pain, skin issues, fatigue, and many others. As for causes of leaky gut, there's also a lot of these as well. Some include poor diet, chronic stress, imbalances in gut bacteria, certain medications such as non-steroidal anti-inflammatories, processed foods, gluten, and even excess sugar intake. In terms of diagnosing leaky gut, there's a few different tests for this. There is such a test known as a leaky gut test, which checks for certain proteins that are responsible for holding the cells of the small intestine together. A couple of these include zonulin and occludin. If you test for these proteins and they end up showing that they're elevated on the test, this may be an indication that these proteins are no longer holding the cells of your intestine together because they are now showing up in your stool sample. There's other tests as well that check for a variety of different antibodies, such as anti-actin, anti-zonulin, and anti-LPS. LPS standing for lipopolysaccharide, which is a toxin. If these antibodies are elevated, it may also mean that leaky gut is present. I don't necessarily feel that a leaky gut test is necessary the majority of the time. For most people, if you have a chronic gut infection such as candida, SIBO, parasites, etc., there is a decent chance that you'll have some level of leaky gut occurring, especially if you have non-digestive symptoms showing up such as skin issues, brain fog, chronic fatigue, or fibromyalgia. Simply treating for leaky gut is usually very affordable, so I find that for most people, it's usually safe and effective to do without even testing for leaky gut. All right, now on to part two of this video where we're going to discuss 5 supplements that have been shown via research to be able to be helpful for leaky gut. This 2023 review by Molecules Journal looked at the different ingredients that have been useful for treating leaky gut. Number 1 is glutamine. Per the review, glutamine is considered a crucial amino acid capable of regulating the expression of tight junction proteins, allowing the membrane of intestinal cells to remain impermeable. Preclinical studies have indicated that adding glutamine improves fibrosis and intestinal inflammation. Glutamine, aka L-glutamine, has been really well studied for this purpose of leaky gut, and there's a pretty general consensus that it is useful for leaky gut. The safety of using glutamine has also been well documented in a variety of different studies. There's even research indicating that glutamine is safe at doses up to 40 grams per day. For the purposes of leaky gut and gut health though, I found dosages between 2.5 and 5 grams twice daily on an empty stomach to be appropriate for most people. So combined dosage, this is a total of 5 to 10 grams of glutamine per day total. As a quick note, glutamine may not be safe or appropriate for everybody. It can convert to another molecule known as glutamate, which is an excitatory neurotransmitter or signaling molecule. This means that if you deal with anxiety or difficulty sleeping, it has the potential to make these things worse. If you want to learn more about L-glutamine or how to take L-glutamine, click this link right here. The second supplement to help with leaky gut is probiotics. You may be tired about hearing about all the things that probiotics do, and I get that, but each probiotic is different. With that said, let's look at which specific probiotic strains have actually shown in clinical research to help with leaky gut. Per this 2021 review by the International Journal of Molecular Sciences, several specific strains of probiotics seem to show benefit. They include Lactobacillus rhamnosus GG, which increased Claudin-3 protein expression, Lactobacillus acidophilus, which increased Claudin protein expression as well, Lactobacillus plantarum, which increased occludin and zonulin, Bifidobacterium Bacterium infantis, which supported claudin and occludin, E. coli Nissel 1917, which increased zonulin, and Lactobacillus rhamnosus, which increased zonulin and occludin. For most of these probiotics, you're going to notice that they either help support zonulin, occludin, or claudin. Again, these are proteins that help prevent leaky gut. They're kind of like the security guards that make sure an orderly flow of nutrients can pass between cells. This image is simplified, but it gives you a sneak preview of occludins and claudins look like and do. So if you're trying to fix leaky gut and are thinking about using a probiotic, it may be a good idea to pick one that contains as many of these strains as possible. And third supplement, it's technically two, but it's vitamins A and D. This 2019 review by Critical Reviews in Biochemistry and Molecular Biology journal looked at the impact of vitamin A and D on intestinal barrier function. It found that both vitamin A and vitamin D are important to induce zonulin, occludin, and claudin, tight junction proteins important for the integrity of the barrier. Deficiency in either vitamin A or vitamin D results in leaky guts. It does make the distinction that having a deficiency in vitamin A or D is necessary. So for those who are sufficient in vitamin A and D, it may be unlikely that taking more of these vitamins would have an additional benefit. With that said, depending on where you live, it can become very easy to be deficient in vitamin D, especially for people who live in colder climates and don't get regular sun exposure. The fourth supplement that can help with leaky gut is fiber. Dietary fiber seems to be important because it feeds your microbiome, which in return produces short-chain fatty acids such as butyrate. This 2016 animal study by Cell Journal looked at what happened to the intestinal lining in the absence of dietary fiber. It found that during chronic or intermittent dietary fiber deficiency, the gut microbiota resorts to host-secreted mucus glycoproteins as a nutrient source, leading to erosion of the colonic mucus barrier. This means that when there was no dietary fiber for the bacteria in the microbiome to eat, it needed a different food source, and to get this food source, it resorted to eating the actual mucus layer of the intestine instead. You can kind of see what happens in this depiction here. The mucus layer is the pink part in the image. The study suggests that without fiber, the barrier function of your intestine may become impaired. And then the fifth supplement, I actually have a few here for you that I'm going to list really quickly. Per the 2023 review by Molecules Journal, a few other supplements that may assist with leaky gut include polyphenols such as resveratrol, curcumin, and quercetin, arginine, which is an amino acid, and a variety of herbs such as peppermint, licorice root, marshmallow, and ginger. As a final note, if you're looking to treat leaky gut, you don't have to only do so with supplements. Feel free to incorporate whole foods or drinks into your diet that also contain these ingredients. This is not a complete list of every single supplement that can be used to help treat leaky gut, but these are some prominent ones that have been found via research to be useful for this purpose. That is all for today. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more related content. I post a new full-length video every Monday and YouTube shorts throughout the week. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.